Let's have a conversation. Hey, yo, let's chop it up, man. Hey, yo, let's have a conversation. Hey, yo, may I interject? It's about time for communal reconnect. Power of the we in some type of context. Working on the us so we can hit up what's next. It's that grown brother, grown sister type of flex. More like soul check, not just collecting checks. Fact, not feelings is what we got on deck. Take the high road, so this here is high tech. Getting to the real, everything that we hitting on. Pull up or sit down, tell me what you sipping on. Reclaiming kinghood, that is what we getting on. Real headlines is what we spitting on. So, hey now, yo, let's have a conversation. Maybe take a second, talk on what we facing. Only way to change is to change the situation. How about we break bread now and have a conversation? Hey now, yo, let's have a conversation. Maybe take a second, talk on what we facing. Only way to change is to change the situation. How about we break bread now and have a conversation? Let's have a conversation. Hey, yo, let's have a conversation. Have a conversation. Have a conversation.
All right.
What's up?
We are the Real Bravado Network, okay? And this is Have the Conversation Beta Test Show 3. Before we get going, let me make a simple ask for everybody, okay? Here at the Real Bravado Network, we're streaming on YouTube. We're going to be launching our weekly streaming conversation show called Have the Conversation. Please go to YouTube and search Real Bravado Network. That's Real, R-E-A-L, Bravado, B-R-A-V-A-D-O Network, and click the subscribe button to support the project, okay? It don't cost you nothing. No money, no crypto, no food stamps, no nothing. Just a simple click on the red subscribe button, and that way you can show us our support, okay? Our focus on our streaming show called Have the Conversation will be to primarily focus on Black men and Black women's cultural ethnic image, advocate for solid Black men to be the best versions of themselves, you know, support the outcomes Black men and Black women want, especially with each other. And then also we want to make sure that we want to support and advocate strong Black families, all right? In our first live streaming show, we will break that down and explain what we mean by average Black solid man. We want to really explain that to you. So we're going to take some time in the first streaming show what we mean by average man, because people think average is like a bad thing, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, okay?
You just setting the bar.
Every week, we're gonna be asking for our friends on Facebook, Instagram, people that we know, to participate in our panel. Our show won't be able to do what it needs to do without our panel and people giving their input and engaging on the topic of the day for the weekly show, okay? Our first streaming show will be in 3 weeks, and the topic will be, do we have a problem? We'll get into that more later on as the promotional clips start dropping, okay? Now, we have a very interesting week. This has been a very, very interesting week, and we all witnessed Will Smith slapping Chris Rock over a G.I. Jane joke. This incident really hit hard, no pun intended. Many people felt this was an attack on the black man's already fragile image. Will Smith was supposed to represent the very best of black men, and some of us felt this was a call, and some felt this was a call to arms for black men to start protecting black women. For me personally, I don't understand how what Will did could be interpreted as the protection of a man's wife or the protection of black women. Still don't get that. But we're not going to spend a lot of time. I spent the last 2 episodes talking about that. But I think we can all agree that this reopened talks regarding the black man's image and what it means. But before I get to the topic, I want to ask that when do a person need to be protected, especially that kind of protection that Tiffany Haddish, for those who don't know what Tiffany Haddish said after the Oscars, you need to go back and look at that. What she said Will provided Jada, okay? Really quickly, I got a guess, but really quickly, I want to play a short video, okay? And shout out to the young man that actually came up with the video. His name is MTR. He's another person who has a streaming channel on YouTube, MTR. So please don't strike me because this is very interesting. He has a sister that that he's interviewing that's talking about a little bit about the protection of black women. So I'm gonna play that, and then I'm gonna bring my guest up. Okay.
Do you hit men?
Beat they ass.
Do they hit you back?
Never got hit back ever in life.
But knowing that they can knock you unconscious, isn't that the reason not to hit men?
Not if it's my baby daddy.
A woman has to be in a position that she can be protected.
Uh-oh.
A woman has to deserve protection by the way she lives her life or present herself.
Talk to him.
A woman has to require protection because she is in her place, in her lane. And then men might feel that they can step in and protect her. A lot of our women don't want to be protected. You can't protect them whether anybody bothering them along. Sometimes we try to protect our women from a bad idea. She don't want no protection. So
in my opinion, very profound statement. But we're gonna get to it in a minute. Let me bring up my guest real quick, okay? And we're gonna get right into it, okay? Hey, Dez, you there?
Peace. Yeah, I'm here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Everything good?
Yeah, everything good. Welcome to the show. Did you hear what the lady said?
Man, I love Sharad Ali. She is always on point.
Okay. So
I love that statement. She said, you can't even protect a woman from a black woman from a bad ideal. I was like, oh, man. Preach.
That's kind of cold-blooded, ain't it?
Yeah, that's cold-blooded. But I know what she's meaning. She's meaning like when you trying to build with that particular black woman, and you might come from whatever spiritual background you come from, and you saying this is that and the other, right? And then she'll come with some emotional, not spiritual. So right there, y'all on 2 different pages. Could be on 2 different books. And then you might just throw out an idea that only is self-centered. You dig? And that ideal, you like, well, I'm going to stand on that ideal because that's how I feel and da-da-da-da-da. And now you not build it. And you can't even try to say, hey, you could be peaceful, humble, say, hey, queen, this is what I'm trying to, build with you, but this is the direction I'm trying to go. And she can't even see that. You know what I'm saying? But see, like, just the way she put it so bluntly and so directly, people some people that's weak-minded or maybe weak spiritually will probably be offended at that. But the real ones, not. They're not going to be offended at that.
Okay, cool. So, what did you? I mean, we haven't really talked. What do you think about what went down at the Oscars with Will and Jada and Chris?
Man, I'm going to tell you straight out, man. I was just a little disappointed because two things, right? I was disappointed because no one gave Samuel Jackson any credit for winning an Oscar also, because all they talk about is this slap. So that's the first disappointment right there. Shout out to Samuel Jackson for handling his business and getting the Oscar too. The second disappointment is Will slapping Chris Rock. Now I'm gonna tell you something. By being a real man about the situation, if you really felt that he offended your wife, then I'm gonna talk to you behind the scenes, and we can do whatever we gonna do. Well, I'm gonna still. I mean, if he felt that he needed to slap him, I'm gonna slap you behind the scenes. Ain't nobody gonna see what I'm about to do to you.
Right. Now, this narrative came out, after this. I mean, primarily spearheaded by Tiffany Haddish, that Will did something that every black man should have done a long time ago, which is protect the honor of his wife. Did you?
Okay.
Did you? Did you feel that this was in some way that he was actually doing that?
Well, nah, that wasn't no. I mean, stand by your wife the whole time. I understand that, and protect her at all times. I'm with that, right? But for a joke, GI Jane, and I know she might have some issues with her head, alopecia.
But who knew that though?
I mean, she might have said it, but ain't nobody thinking about that. Like Jada, and even though I love Jada, but Jada ain't on my mind like that to where I'm knowing about her issues.
Right. Right.
So I'm feeling like this. That was the wrong place and wrong time to handle that business, and it was just a joke. Now I'm gonna tell you something. Now I love comics, so I'm gonna go back to Martin Lawrence. Y'all go check out Martin Lawrence when he was doing Def Jam Comedy Jam, and he disrespected somebody, but MC Light wasn't there, right? And MC Light dude was there. And he talked so bad about, he said, yeah, he got MC Light on it tattooed on his chest. He said, man, I fucked her too. And I'm going to tell you, there is light at the end of that tunnel. Now that was disrespectful. And if MC Light was there, now that was something to defend, right? Yeah. But even though he might have did it jokingly, because dude was laughing, he ran up and down the aisle, came back and like that. He held his head down like, dang, somebody else messing with my chick. But like, as far as like, he didn't even say anything derogatory. Martin did. All he said was, hey, looking good. See you in G.I. Jane too. I mean, what was really offensive about that?
Yeah. Well, which is what I think there was a whole lot of other issues about that, and, they're talking about her honor. Let me tell you something. In the last 3 to 4 years, when has Jada ever presented herself in an honorable way? This woman did some of the most disrespectful things to a man's image. I mean, yeah. So I don't want to rehash all of that because I unfortunately did. I mean, you went on the other ones where we really went in on stuff like that. But I just wanted to kind of just do a summary about this for this last beta test. But I think the reason why this resonated with, so I don't know if resonate is the right word, but resonated with so many people, especially black men of color, is the fact of the matter is this dude represented the best of us. What I mean?
The Oscar that in this award show.
And then
go ahead.
The other thing I think it did too was it started a very uncomfortable conversation that a lot of us, but especially a lot of us guys, are having behind the scenes, and that's the behavior of our women.
Yeah. Man, that's a good point. The behavior of our women now, and I know this is the so-called age of Aquarius, and the woman the woman's power is strong right now. But even though the woman's power is strong, it doesn't give you the right to be outlandish with your strength. You know what I'm saying? You can't just give away your goods. And when I'm talking about giving away your goods, I'm talking about, man, everything bouncing and jiggling. I ain't gonna lie, I like to see it, but I wouldn't take you home to see my mama. Yeah. You feel me? Yeah. Because it's a respectability about how you do your thing
and how you handle yourself. Yep.
And how to handle yourself. You can't. I mean, as classy as Jada appears to be, right? Because, like you said, in the last 3 years, she disrespected this man totally. And that might be the effects of that. That what they used to call that entanglement, whatever she said. Oh, we had an entanglement, that joke for a long time. I was like, damn.
He called it. Look, if you look at that interview in the Red Table Talk, he called. This was so foul.
What did he say?
He called it an indiscretion. She corrected him and said, "No, it wasn't an indiscretion. It was an entanglement." You should have seen this. I was like, "Dang." You talking about no? I didn't have no indiscretion. So
she didn't make a mistake. She did that. Man, she cold blooded, man. I'm a little disappointed, man. I ain't even gonna lie. Within Jada, I'm in that.
Let me tell you something. If this woman is disrespecting this man this way out in public, just imagine what she's doing behind closed doors.
Oh yeah, I think he's going through it. I mean, that slap really, to me, that slap didn't have nothing to do with the joke.
No,
that slap is a lot. He's got a lot of I mean, just think, man. He is the man in Hollywood. He is the gatekeeper. He's one of the highest paid
$20 million black
man. $20 million for per man.
$20 million per picture.
Per picture, man. That's major. That's big paper, man. No matter how you slice it, and you always got to have that presentation. That face, that smile. You always got to be happy, even when you don't want to be happy. You got to talk to people. You got to, things that you don't want to do, and he's going through so much. He probably doesn't have anybody to talk to release that energy.
And I just think it just, and believe it or not, at the beginning when Chris Rock made that, which was a lame joke, made the joke. He was
which one?
With, the G.I. Jane joke. When Chris Rock made a lame joke, they cut to Will Smith. He was laughing at it. It was when she decided to get all indignant and shoot him the evil eye that he got gas and all this other craziness. But anyway, I want to leave it right there because I don't want to waste a lot of time
on that subject.
For us normal human beings, there's work tomorrow and all that good stuff. But I want to get to one more thing, and I'm glad you actually own this because I want to get to one more thing. I got some headlines. I got a section called the Real Bravado headlines. So we're gonna get to that real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. All right. In our segment we call the Real Bravado headlines. You'll see more of this when we actually get into the live streaming show because this is actually in the Real Bravado headlines is where we actually introduce the topic of the day. So, but we're gonna do it a little bit out of order right here. But our headlines today it's about my pet peeve. I got a pet peeve, Dad.
Okay. What's your pet peeve, brother?
Lord have mercy. So one of my I guess I can call her a friend. Somebody that I've known for a long time. She posted something on Facebook, and it had just kind of set me over the edge. It's the statement that says a real man ... You know what I mean?
And that's how she did.
No. I forgot what the statement was after that, but.
Okay.
A real man would do ... Only a real man would do ... Only a real man. And I'm thinking to myself, who determines who a real man is, for the most part. So I wanted to go over some of the most common, phrases like that. You know what I mean?
Common phrases.
Yeah.
Okay.
You not
That's
a
gonna be
real.
fun.
You
I
not
can't
a.
see that.
I'll
But
take
go
care.
ahead.
You not a
Okay.
real. You not a real man if ... You don't have to ask a real man for nothing. He just offers.
Nah, that's not it.
So you mean to tell me I gotta? So I'm not a real man if I can't read your mind.
Yeah, that's not it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. A real man fulfills his partners mentally and emotionally. And I'm thinking to myself, so I'm your psychiatrist now. So I'm not a real man if I'm not your shrink.
I mean, where is the okay? That's to me. This is all sounds like it's one sided. And where's the other side? Because how can a real man, like you said, how can a real man, what they call real man, satisfy you mentally and emotionally when you can't? You first thing you got to do is be able to build. If you can't build mentally and emotionally, then all you doing is trying to drain me and just putting your problems upon me.
But you're not a real man if you can't fulfill her mentally and emotionally. Don't forget that. Now, okay.
Right, I'm listening. This is crazy.
Next up.
What's up?
You not a real. Only a real man makes time for his woman no matter what. Excuse me.
Nah.
Those of us out here in the game, first of all, mortgage and rent is through the roof. Car prices are up $8,000 to $10,000. Gas is up. Bread costs $20 a slice. And I gotta go work to earn this. And if I can't, what you want me to see me 7 days a week, 24 hours a day? No. So I'm not a real man if I can't just drop everything every time and be at your beck and call. So that I'm not a real man. Okay, cool. All right. A real man will compliment you daily, even when you cranky. What?
I mean, that's strange. I gotta laugh at some of this stuff because it's a little strange to me. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I gotta compliment you every day, even when you acting like that ish.
Yeah.
I gotta compliment you every day because I'm not a real man. Look, some days I don't even want to talk to you some days, so I'm not a real man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I'm not.
Just feel the vibe. Look, had to tell a chick like that. Just feel the vibe, baby, because you ain't really with it. And where's the yin and the yang? See, that's what I'm saying. It's just so one sided. Well, if I'm a real man, I compliment you. What you gonna do? You see what I'm saying? So how can we compliment each other? See, I think, man, that pimping and hoeing. Because now it got people twisted, man. You know what I'm saying? Because if we was to pop open that book that people don't want to pop open, the woman is supposed to give it all. You see what I'm saying? She's supposed to do her utmost best to please a man, and the man supposed to love her. You see what I'm saying? So it's a yin and yang effect going, but I think that pimping and hoeing up, baby, you got to compliment me every time, whether I'm cranky. Nah, that ain't it.
Right. You ain't a real man. A real man ain't intimidated by her getting the bag. What?
I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna run the household. What's up?
Let me tell you something. That statement. Let me tell you something. You know how many women I hear say all the time, tell me that men are intimidated by them. I ain't never heard as many fellas as I've talked to. I've never heard a dude tell me that he was intimidated by a female.
I ain't never heard that either. I don't care. Look. Everybody I know tell me like this. A real man don't care if you got more money than him. He the head of the household. He's still gonna run the show and run the money and do what he need to do regardless.
What does your money got to do with anything? I mean, but see, in my show, we're actually going to talk about that because
yeah, that'll be a good show.
Well, because there is such a thing as called masculine and feminine energy in women.
True.
Who got that mindset is operating in a very masculine way because finance has nothing to do with femininity. Okay,
it sure does.
They think it.
I agree.
Yeah, right. All right, and then here's my favorite one. A real man will raise a child that's not his own.
Well,
I ain't no real
I don't know
man.
about that. I got to be super really in love with you to try to raise someone else's child. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
Can we flip the script on that, TJ?
Yeah.
Can we flip the script and say, now I got the child. Are you a real woman? You're gonna help me raise this child?
When have you ever known a woman a whole group of stepmamas and raising? No, you got to come in and be. That don't happen.
Nah, I don't.
That don't happen. You ain't no real man if you ain't raising somebody else's kid. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, I think that's back in them 60s and 70s days. You know what I'm saying?
Once upon a time, being a stepfather used to be a position of honor because usually, usually when there was a quote unquote stepfather, that usually meant that the actual man of the house, the husband of the house, died or was killed in war or something tragic like that, and so another man came in and stepped in, and that was usually the woman was so grateful that a man would come in and do that. It was looked at as a position of honor, but now it's treated like a sucker's position.
Yeah, I agree.
We're going to talk about that on the show too, but I'll just say this. The latest statistics is 74% of Black homes are headed by Black women.
Really,
Black women with children. 74%. You might as well say every single Black home is headed by a Black woman. So
that's unbelievable. I mean, I can believe that stat because I know the men out here are like either dead or in prison, and the ones that are working, like we done made that switch into corporate world. So we like the most revered, the most sought after men out there. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing, Des. There's a company called blackdemographics.com, demographics for Black people, by Black people. And what they do is they compile a lot of the data and statistics from the CDC, the Census Bureau, the Department of Labor Bureau of Statistics, and which we'll get into over the course of the year, like these different stats and stuff like that, and what that actually means. One of the biggest shockers that I find, and I'll lay it out right now, is that 54% of black men between the ages of 18 and 70, 54% of Black men are single, childless, and earn enough money to be in the middle class.
Wow.
So
that's a good statistic.
54% represents the majority. That's the majority of us.
Dang.
So the narrative that most Black men are actually in prison or dead, that's not true. Can we say propaganda?
Propaganda.
And the other thing we found out is that if you take away married Black men out of the equation, 80% of the children born in Black families are produced by between 16 to 18% of Black men. The lower end of Black men, not the 54%.
Wow.
So
you're on top of your game, on top of your research.
All of our single mamas out here, and if you just look at it from an anecdotal standpoint, look around, how many of our ladies are walking around here with multiple baby daddies? So if only 16 to 18% of Black men are producing 80% of the children, they out here sharing baby daddies.
Yeah,
at an alarming rate. So yeah, so for those that's some stuff for you. But all right, man, it's been 30 minutes. I didn't want to go this long. We're gonna end up wrapping it up. I want to do one more thing. On the Real Bravado Network, which is the Real Bravado Network is our YouTube streaming channel that where we'll be holding our weekly show called Have the Conversation. We will also be producing a reaction show called Lady Flow Reacts, okay? And we're going to talk about that in just, let me see. Do we got Lady Flow? Yeah, Lady Flow Reacts. So yeah, Lady Flow, which will see those the Lady Flow React shows will be short shows, 10, 15-minute shows where we produce and play her content and she get her honest reaction. Lady Flow is our resident Jamaican superstar. So she's a Jamaican reggae actress, singer. So you'll get a chance to meet her as we get close to debuting her show as well. Okay. Well,
Okay, that's what's up.
well, yeah, this was just a test show. My buddy Dez came by to help me out with that. This is the final test show before we actually go live in 3 weeks. So we will be quiet and silent for 3 weeks while we actually finish all of the prep work that's going to be needed to produce a weekly show and try to grow it. We're black men and we're accustomed to building things out of the dirt. This is no exception.
True.
This is no exception. And the conversations that we're going to be happening on this platform is going to be really, really geared towards our average solid brothers, which we'll get into what that actually means. You got other content creators out here who focus on what they consider to be high value. I'm going to address that on our first show too, because I'm going to address it one time and one time only, about this whole concept of high value and what it's for and stuff like that. But over here, I'm just an average brother. I work a 9 to 5. I work a 6 to 12, 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. I work a 9 to 5. I crush cans, recycle copper, all of that stuff. I'm an average dude trying to make a way and trying to live right, trying to be what I can be. And all of my friends and everybody that I associate, the men that I associate with, are in the same category. But there seems to be a lack of reverence for the fact that our community is built on average solid men. Okay. All right. I think that's it. Dez, why don't you sit back for a second? Hold on a minute while I hit this outro. And thank you guys for whoever's gonna. We had 4 or 5 people pop in and watch from time to time. So, but as soon as this ends, this is going to actually populate on YouTube and be searchable on the Real Bravado Network. Once again, everybody, please go to YouTube, search Real Bravado Network, RealBravado Network, and hit the subscribe button. Support what we're trying to do. We're going to build this thing out of the dirt. I got 41 subscribers right now. That's okay by me. Okay? All right.
Let's have a conversation. Hey, yo, let's chop it up, man. Hey, yo, let's have a conversation. Hey, yo, may I interject? It's about time for communal reconnect. Power of the we in some type of context. Working on the us so we can hit up what's next. It's that grown brother, grown sister type of flex. More like soul check, not just collecting checks. Fact, not feelings is what we got on deck. Take the high road, so this here is high tech. Getting to the real, everything that we hitting on.